Game 2 between the Montreal Canadiens and Vegas Golden Knights gets underway tonight from T-Mobile Arena. That's Aaron Ward and Shane Kelly. I'm David Pagnotta. Our coverage brought to you by Bitbuy, Canada's #1 cryptocurrency platform. And gentlemen, let's just dive right in here, Wardo. What do the Montreal Canadiens need to do to go home tied in this series, or is Vegas just too powerful of a team to allow that to happen?
I think, honestly, for the Montreal Canadiens, it starts at the top with Dom Ducharme. I think it's managing the mentality of this game, the psychology of the game, is really understanding where you're at and not getting too far ahead and being down after the first game. You understand you're the underdog still. Nothing's changed now that it's the third series. This team understands that they're playing a group of players in Vegas that are high power, high velocity, highly skilled. And there's almost like a feeling out process that has to happen naturally, right? So Vegas is in the comfortable position, playing at home in front of a whole fan base. It's all brand new. The most that Montreal's really seen is 2,500. So you come in, there's baptism by fire. Now that they've got it behind them, I think Montreal has to figure out what their approach is and what identity they play to. There has to be clearly more of an effort to get to Fleury. And if that's more Gallagher sitting there and you're seeing more of Fleury throwing a helmet or getting engaged right off the start of the game and punching guys, that has to happen. They have to get that guy distracted. Overall, Montreal's got to play to a style that they know is effective for them. And they got a good dose of it in Toronto, is knowing that you got to play a maintained, patience, disciplined style of play in your own end, because Vegas is going to do exactly what Toronto did, is create confusion, create those matchups and cause some confusion. So Montreal's just got to come in and be excited. And hopefully, you know, there's word there may be guys coming into this lineup. That should be an added boost, whether Petrie gets in there. And I think that's essential, right? Rounding out the top four is having a guy, even if he's 70%, Petrie in the lineup provides a level of stability and certainty to the group of players in that locker room. In the same way Price playing well is sets things at ease out in the ice. I think having Petrie back there to guide them and to round out that top four should be helpful.
Shane, let's from that perspective, because John Merrill is also considered a game time decision. Dom Ducharme earlier today saying that both guys, including as well as Jake Evans, rather, are progressing. But how important is it to have Petrie and or Merrill into the lineup, or has Montreal's defense? Were they good enough in game one from an overall perspective?
The first pairing was good. Looking at the data, they were pretty good on possession numbers, pretty good on expected goals. They only allowed a couple slot shots against, so not too bad. The Romanov pair was absolutely terrible. I don't know that he can play again in this series if they want to win a game based on what he did last game. They were a 0 for expected goals on 4 different models, which means that they literally didn't create a single scoring chance or even shot on goal when he was on the ice. So to me, that's a huge red flag. But the other thing that the Canadiens struggled with in this game is Carey Price was, regular season Carey Price. He was kind of an average goalie, and a huge part of their whole playoff run has been, they've, played a style that works, but that's been leaning on him being outstanding. And if he's going to just be average, I don't know how they can claw their way back in this series.
I think that Carey had his moments of brilliance, though. I mean, even though the numbers may say he was average, this could have easily gotten away from them and been an 8-1 game.
Sure. I mean, but they still scored 4, right? So, it wasn't right. It could have been 8, but it wasn't like it was close. And the other thing, that I found interesting is that Vegas just dominated at 5-on-5 on both possession and slot shots. I think they were like 60% possession and 12-8 in slot shots. So, I don't know what they have to change, but that's a change from the last couple series that Vegas have been in, where they've kind of let the other team come to them a bit.
Well, the funny thing is I don't know where it was said. I think it was said on some medium where there was like a talk of the defenseman in Vegas being an effective
they were great
to their game. Hey, listen, Vegas played to their identity. Vegas was exactly who they were. They played high tempo. They played really heavy, which was a complete adjustment for the Montreal Canadiens. But again, it paid dividends to have your defenseman consistently jumping up in the play. 3 of the 4 goals scored by defensemen. And I think Montreal, if they're going to concentrate on anything coming into this game in the Vegas lineup, it's not the depth up front. It's understanding how to control what is coming from the second wave of offense that Vegas brings. And they're playing with a high level of confidence, and that's the toughest part, right? It's just not the skill set. It's the mentality Vegas has now, eliminating the Colorado Avalanche team that everybody, or I won't say everybody, this person thought was going to go to the finals. Now they're just on a roll, and so it's tough to slow that. And Montreal, being the underdog, can embrace the underdog status, but Vegas right now is the giant, and they know they are, and it's in their hands to basically find that level of success and close this out.
It looked like the Montreal Canadiens in the first 6, 7, 8 minutes of the game were doing well. They played a similar facet that got them past Toronto and that helped them, especially in Game 1 against the Winnipeg Jets and setting the tone. Was this more Vegas kind of feeling them out? Because after that, I mean, the rest of the game was all Vegas. So were they just kind of going through that?
I think it's both teams. I think both teams are going to find. I mean, listen, the first two series for every National Hockey League matchup, everybody's seen each team ad nauseum, right? So you can close your eyes and envision how the game is going to happen. For these guys now, they haven't seen another team outside of 5 or 6 for almost over a year now. So to step in, there's a natural apprehension to like going full bore into this game and feeling comfortable. You got to find that comfort of the game. The game's got to start and play itself out, and then the tension goes away and the natural feel to the game happens. And I think that's really for both teams where this was. I thought Montreal did. You're right. They played an effective start to the game, but I think they have to realize they can't step off the gas in terms of commitment to the discipline of the game and defense against this team, or they're going to get burned. And it comes down to, again, 2 of the 4 goals came directly off faceoffs. That's being ready to start the game.
Yeah, we'll see overall Montreal was better at the dot than the Vegas Golden Knights, but you're right. From a defensive zone perspective, they were only 50%, and 2 of the Vegas goals were directly right off the draw. We'll see if that improves tonight, and we'll see come game time if any changes happen for the Montreal Canadiens and their roster. Vegas looking pretty with theirs. That's Aaron Ward and Shane Kelly. I'm David Pagnotta. We'll catch you after the game.